Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to the first video of Commerce Aspirants. So today, yeah, it's first from the Business Studies chapter. So we are going to see the first chapter, that is Business, Trade, and Commerce. So before entering into that concept, I want to clarify you that I am not going to teach on mark-oriented basis. My only motto is to make you understand the concepts, not just to rush towards the marks. So I'm not going. If you want to follow like something like exam oriented basis, like from June to June next April or somewhere around those periods, you can that my video won't be fit for you. Whenever you need a conceptual knowledge about the subject and as well as for your future. See, you're not just going to stop here. Once you complete your 11th and 12th, you got you got to go a lot, right? So either you choose a professional course as your career or to do masters in commerce, whatever it is. Your base is very important. So I believe I and that is my motto, ultimate aim, not just your 11th and 12th. Okay, so keep that in mind and study. I'm not. It's not like an advice. This is the thing which you should do mandatory. Okay, it's not an advice. This is something called rules. There are there are certain things called as rules which you have to follow. So it's a kind of rule. Not that it's not like boring. It's not like a very compelling kind of thing. Just a thing which you come across in your day-to-day life, which are going to study with some using some terms. That's all. That's nothing. There's nothing else to describe commerce stream. That's more than enough. But this is a world. It's a world. You have to explore more things in the commerce. Okay. But everything, whatever you study here, it's something which you come across in your day-to-day life, or somewhere some people will be coming across day-to-day life in their day-to-day life. So everyone could relate it. Okay, to your day-to-day life. So with that note, I'm going to start the first chapter in business studies, grade 11. So welcome to the commerce stream, the new kiddos of 11th. Okay, I warmly welcome you to the commerce stream. So here, our first chapter itself, business, trade, and commerce. Okay, so this is the learning objective as per your our NCRT. And one more thing, I'm not going to follow any other external sources except NCRT book. There is nothing else I'm going to look out on it. Just NCRT book is enough because that's the only thing I followed when I'm studying 11th and 12th. Okay, so for conceptual basis is also NCRT is more than enough, I believe. So more than that, if you think you need an extra material, you can just go ahead with it. No issues. So with that note, I could start the first chapter for the kind of introduction, business, trade, and commerce. There are three separate terms, but somewhere around it will be looking like similar, but they are three different terms. Okay, so business is something which you might have heard in your day-to-day life. Someone will be telling, my father is doing a business, my father is in that business, and my friend's father is in that business. They are running a business. So business, you might be coming across this word very often. I think so. So what that business means actually, in simple, business means keeping a man busy. It's an activity which means which keeps a man busy. Why busy? Is there anything like involved in that? Yeah, there are many activities involved in business. Okay, and it starts with production and it ends with consumption. What does this production and consumption means? Okay, let me take a case scenario. So here, say for example, Mr. Ajay. Okay, he goes to Nike showroom. Okay, he goes to Nike showroom. and he buys a costly shoe around 15,000. He buys it for 15,000. Imagine, imagine. If someone is buying shoes for that grace, it's okay. You can just relate it with yourself. So 15,000, he is buying a shoe. There it is called as something consumption. Consumption means what when you are telling consumption. Consumption, I heard that something which I consume through my mouth. That is not alone. That is alone. It's not called as consumption. Consumption is something which you use. That is called as consumption. That's all. It's simple. To use. That is consumption. So it is for his consumption. Okay, where that shoes came from? Where did it originate from? So there are many processes behind it. So business is an activity which starts from production and ends with consumption. Okay, business is an activity which starts from production and it ends with consumption. So I'm telling, right, there are many processes involved. Right? So that is called as production process. Producing something. Okay, producing something is called as production process. What this production means? Okay, still, if you couldn't get it, I'm just clarifying the production term in more simpler way. So day to day, your mom cooks, right? So she produces some kind of food to you. That is called as production. Okay. So when you do it in a large scale, that is called as production. So see, for your understanding, I'm just telling the mom example. But when you do it in a large scale, that is called as production. Okay. Uh, that's about business. Okay. And yeah, what is there if you dig into the past of the business? What was kind of modes of business were there? Like, see, if you buy something, now I told an example, he buys for 15,000, he would have paid in GPay or in some other card or in maybe in a credit card, whatever it is. Some modes are there, as you are aware of. But what was the system which was used in past, like around before these technologies evolved? What was the systems used in the past? So there are some modes in which transfer of goods were happened. So transfer of goods is nothing, just from me I'm telling to you, selling to you. That is called as transfer. So transfer of goods has happened, like, barter exchange system was there. Okay, barter exchange system was there. Barter exchange system is like, something, goods for goods. Okay, goods for goods. If a goods, like, for example, Mr. A, he's a producer, he's a farmer, he produces wheat in his field. Okay, for example, wheat. Mr. B, he's a shoe manufacturer. Okay, he stitches shoes, okay, in his hands, and he makes his own shoes, crafted. What happened one day, Mr. B needs some wheat. Okay, so B was thinking, how could I ask him for just free of cost? I cannot, like, I cannot ask someone's hard work for just for free of cost. So he decided, okay, let me exchange with my shoes. I will give some shoes, some four pairs of shoes, and I will buy some 5 kgs of wheat. Okay. So he went to him and asked him, Mr. A, and Mr. A also, like, the shoes. He was attracted with the shoes. Wow, it's nice. I could, for 5 kgs of my wheat, I could afford a shoe. So let me buy it. This is how barter system evolved. This is how barter system works. Okay, now it's not there. Absolutely, it's out of stock now. So this is how the barter systems work. So from this, like, for a good, he exchanged a good, right? Nothing else is there. Nothing, any medium of exchange is not there. Only the goods is there. Okay. slowly time passed. Now they evolved and the currency were invented, coins were there, and they gave a value for a coin like 5 rupees, 10 rupees. Now you even now today we have 20 rupees, right? In future we might get 1000 and 100 rupee coins also might be. So these are some currencies when the currency notes were invented, 1 rupee note, 50 paise note. So everything there's some slowly they were evolved. And what people thought like, so this has some value, why don't we use this as a medium of exchange. Okay, important term is medium of exchange. So they have used the medium of exchange, and now we are using money to it. So I don't want to dig that past too much. So and it should not become a huge word. So I'm just touching. Okay, just like giving a glimpse of what would have happened for an example. Okay. And you are also, this is what something called as business, and how this business worked. So these things and all will be there for your general knowledge. You can just have a read through the NCRT first pages. And now let's go ahead with the role of business in the development of economy. Okay, what does the business make in make what does a mixed business, if I'm doing a business, what does it going to have an impact in my economy? Yes, it is. It has some impact. Say for example, while Paytm was introduced, okay, uh, let's not consider that. That's service platform. Okay, let's not consider that. Okay, any rice product, any rice like Mr. X brand. Okay, X brand rice. So before the invention, before that brand evolved, that is Mr. X brand. Okay, that's the brand name. That brand name came to the field. There were no, like, if we produce a rice in the Tamil Nadu, I have to sell within Tamil Nadu. If I produce wheat in Punjab, I have to sell within Punjab. That was the system. Say, let's consider that was going on that on that period. What does this Mr. X brand does is, if you purchase in the rice produced in Tamil Nadu could be bought from USA. Okay, could be bought from Russia, could be bought from London. Okay, what they do, they export is nothing, just you might have seen some containers going through the ships, so and so, right, from country to country to in seaways. Also sometimes they used to go ahead and they used to send in aeroplanes also, cargo planes, might have seen it. So they send that to the what, throughout the nation. So now what happens if I send throughout the nation, like, something, I'm exploring the world. I'm entering into the global market. Okay. I'm not using some terms which are not at all heard by you all. I think nowadays everyone knows these kind of terms. With that assumption, I'm just telling you, even though I'll just explain what is global market. Nothing. Near your house, if some cooperative market is there, you will call it as cooperative market, and that is for that region, right? If you go somewhere like Tamil Nadu state full market, we will say it as a state market, as a cooperative. There are some associations are there, that is your for that Tamil Nadu region alone, right? Indian market throughout the India, that is called as Indian market. That's domestic market. Simple, right? Domestic is we are there in our own country, so that is domestic market. Okay. What if I go beyond that? That is total world. Okay, total world. What is that market? I will call it. That is called as global market. That's all. It depends upon the region how you call the market. Okay, that you will study later on in these chapters. It will come market, types of markets are there, what is market, what is marketing, and everything will come. Okay, afterwards we will see as days pass through. So Mr. X brand, so that brand has reached the global market. So what happened now? Until Mr. X brand has entered the market, that means they have started their produce and exporting to the outer nations. Nobody in the outer nation know there is a country like India. Okay, there is a country like India. Now what happened when the Mr. X brand rice has start exporting this global business somewhere around, where to Russia, China, everywhere. They started, okay, wow, this product is nice. Let us go and invest in that company in India, or let's buy that company in India. What happens now? Now India becomes a spotlight to the countries, right? They could be able to identify where is India. Oh, it's a India country. We are we are just how we left this country, which has many businessmen, many in it. Like that, business gives some reach to the nation itself. Okay, to the nation itself. That means it could develop the nation, right? You will have everywhere, wherever you go, you will be recognized as an Indian. Isn't it a development? So that's called as development to the country. What is an economy means? Economy is the country's wealth and the nation's total income. That is somewhere called as economy for general term. Okay, the country's total wealth is economy. Say I earn some income and I pay taxes. Generally, you know that we are paying taxes, municipal tax, GST, whatever is there. So that GST and taxes, if I pay, say for example, I'm just having some crores of business. I'm just having a turnover of 1 lakh crore, 2 lakh crores, and I pay a tax of some 6,000 crores as a tax. Isn't an income to a government? Isn't an development to an economy? 6,000 crores. You can start a project with the infrastructure project within 6,000 crores in somewhere in India. So that's an economic development. So business will always help in the development of the economy. Okay. But with the point, I just want to mention that we should give importance to our domestic tradesmen also. Okay. Not just exporting alone will not develop the country. It should be balanced. Okay. First for our tummy, then only for the next person's tummy. Okay. All right. With that note, that is the role of business in Indian economy. There are some points which you should, like in your exam point of view, if you wanted to me to underline it, like something called these are these histories. Yeah, this just you can see it, go a glance through it. I think for your MCQ exam, it would be an useful thing. So this is everything is history. That this is where the eighth page has what I have told you, right? Term business is derived from the word busy. Okay, business means being busy, right? Okay, so this is the concept of business where it starts from. So characteristics of a business activity. I just explained the concepts. That is, first one is economic activity. It's an economic activity because if I do a business, what purpose I'm doing business? To earn money, to fill my stomach, right? So anything which involves monetary activity is called as an economic activity. That's all. There's nothing else to collapse with what is economic activity. Okay. Production or procurement of goods and services. What is this? This is characteristics of business. Yeah. Production and procurement of business. Sorry, goods and services. Yeah. If I want Nike shoe, I need to produce it. I need to, sorry, if I want or not, if Nike shoe should be if Nike shoe should exist in the market, For that, the company has to produce, they have to procure raw materials, and goods and services has to be sent to the local dealers everywhere around. You could see some showrooms, right? Like they are called as dealers. Okay. And the person who is manufacturing is called as manufacturers, and the person who stores the stock in wholesale is called as wholesalers. Okay. So with that note, and that is the production and procurement of goods. Okay. See, it contains a good example also. Goods may consist of consumable goods, items of daily use such as sugar, ghee, pen, notebook, or capital goods. Okay, these are called as goods. Okay, services means what? Facilities offered to the business like transportation, banking, electricity. So these are services. Okay, those are the facilities. And the third point is sale or exchange of goods and services. Yeah, business is the ultimate aim is to sell the product is produced. Correct. Because if you are just storing it somewhere, will that be any use? No, nothing. So that is called a sale of goods or and exchange of services. So yeah, simple example. Your mom is cooking food at your home, right? Is that a business? No, that's for personal consumption. So if you are becoming a chef, okay, you are passionate and you are becoming a chef in a five-star hotel, and you are getting a pay for 2 lakh rupees per hour to work in that. Is that a business? Yeah, absolutely. You do it for your benefit, and you get paid for it also. So you are doing an economic activity. Okay, this is called as business, and dealing in goods and services on a regular basis. Yeah. If Nike manufacturer just one time he produces some thousand shoes, will he stop with that? No. He will be continuously producing 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, so on. The number of shoes produced will go on keep increasing. It won't be a constant one. Okay. And also a single transaction, like single buying and selling could not become a business. Okay, that's more important that you have to understand. Just if you are like you might have done it in your school days. You will just bring a fish to your school uh, to sell it to your friend. That is not a business. If you are bringing this fish to and you are having some you know some at least some 20 to 30 students buying your fish, then you are a businessman. Okay, just for kidding. Do not do that in your school. And that's what I have seen as single transaction. That's why I have explained to you as an example. So that is dealing goods and services in regular basis and profit earning. Yeah, we have to take profit, right? You cannot I cannot incur more expenses without an income. Correct. If I'm just spending out of my pocket continuously, one day my pocket will become empty, right? But if keep on spending my packet and my pant packet is filling. See, simple example. I'm spending out of my shirt packet, and because of the spending, I'm earning and keeping it in my pant packet. So until and otherwise, my shirt packet and pant packet, sorry, my pant packet becomes empty. I could run a business, right? But the mandatory thing is my pant packet should fill. That means the profit should come. Okay, I have to earn some profit. I have to take out what I have expensed, have put in that, right? Simple terms. Of course, risk factor. Anyone, anyone can ask. Any businessman has 100% risk every day. Okay, might be some grown businessmen will not have that much, but every person who is doing a small business in a medium scale will have 100% risk every day of becoming bankrupt. That is becoming that is closing the business. Okay, so that is uncertainty of return. Okay, but you should have some knowledge, like it's not just a matter of joke. You cannot just do like just like that. You cannot play in business also because that's money matter, right? So if I'm not wrong, so that's about the characteristics of business, uncertainty of return. Yeah, element of risk. Element of risk is something like what causes risk. Okay, that also is there. Say for example, uh, a phone launch. Okay, from Mr. Say what brand I could tell this ME. Okay, that's the brand name. Me. ME is the brand name. So ME brand launched a phone for 14,000, but the specs were around like it could worth of one lakh. Okay, but they are giving it for 14,000 only. So for a particular season, sales was like a tremendous. It was huge as unexpected. Okay, for 2 months. After once the product reached everywhere, slowly it starts decreasing after 2 months. Okay, and it becomes outdated. So this is what happens in day to day, right? That is called as element of risk. This is the element of risk. What happens? The consumer who is buying, you see, you will not buy the phone which is outdated. If I'm not wrong, correct? Yeah. So that kind of mindset is called as element for the risk. Change in consumers' behavior. Okay, that is element of risk. Also, in case at the production place, might have heard in the news often labor union strike, trade union strike. Labor unions, what they do in order to, like, there are some demands for working hours, reduction of working hours, and for higher pay. There are some demands that exist prolonged for so much of period, even whatever the party comes to rule. These problems and all will not be sorted out. Okay, they should be sorted out by the only by the union itself or by the company within the organization. See, let's not go much in that. So they what they do, they strike, they do strikes. Strike means they'll just will not work anymore. They'll just they'll be sitting simply before the machines. They will be gathering and they will be sitting simply. They won't do any work. This what it makes it is going to affect the production. Okay, it's going to production affect the production. Previous day they were producing 10,000 units, but today it was zero because they do not produce anything. Once the 10,000 units are sold, the businessmen do not have any idea. They do not have any other option to sell the next unit itself. We don't have any unit left out. So that's kind of element. That's the risk element, right? If I'm not wrong. So this is the characteristics. These are the characteristics of business in general, and the comparison between business, professional, and employment. These are some three different words. Okay, which you should know actually. So basic on the what basis, that is not basic actually, it's basis. So mode of establishment. See, business, how it is established with an idea, if I'm not wrong, with an idea and confidence of the entrepreneur. Entrepreneur, again, it's a new term for you. Entrepreneur is nothing, the owner of the business. Okay, one who starts the business is called as entrepreneur. So use these words hereafter technically, because you are into a stream of commerce where the world itself depends on us, right? Okay, science is also important, but commerce is more way important. The world runs with commerce only nowadays. Okay, science basic knowledge is enough for you. But commerce, you have to dip yourself in that. You have to swim up to that core. Okay, so entrepreneurs station and legal formalities if necessary. Yeah, legal formalities, you have to get permissions, so and so. I'll just tell you once it comes to types of companies, company how it starts. Okay, how the companies are started, and the profession, membership of professional body and certificate of practice. Let's tell, I'm doing a CA course. Okay, I'm doing CA course. CA, you must be aware of it. Once you enter into commerce field, someone will ask random questions. You will hear is, what are you going to next? Why you took commerce field? Because you want to, why you want to be a CA? That's why you have took commerce field. Like that, you might be coming across these random questions. Okay, so CA course. So that CA course, if I complete that CA course, I could prefix my name as CA Harish. Okay, that's the name. I'm going to prefix the two letters CA and Harish. I will just keep it. I will become a profession. That will become a profession for me, and I have become a professional body. Okay, professional body in simple term. Have you seen any lawyers around you? They are the professional bodies. One who work and get fee for what they do. They are just like service providers. In simple terms, they are service providers. So in case of a chartered accountant, you will go to a chartered accountant. Your father will go to a chartered accountant. Nowadays it's not required, but still someone who trusts chartered accountants than their knowledge will go to a chartered accountant to file the tax, the income tax. Okay, and if you ask your father, he will tell you what does a chartered accountant do in his for in his work. So there will be an office kind of setup. There will be people sitting around there, and I will be placing. Imagine I am there. You are coming with an income. Okay, sir, I want to file my IT as income tax. I'm earning 13 lakh per annum. Per annum. Okay, or I'm doing a business and I'm earning some 25 crores. Let us keep that business itself. It's related to our, what I do, I file your return, income tax, incomes, and what are the transaction we have done, everything, and I tell you that this is the tax amount you are going to pay. Okay, for that I could collect a fee because I have provided a service to you, right? I didn't do something. I'm not running some ashram or something. So I have provided collect some free fee. What happens here? Here is there any anything like business sale or transaction something happened? Nothing. For a service provided, I get a fee. So I use my knowledge to earn. That is called as profession. What I have studied and what I have learned, I am going to use that for my earning. That is called as profession. The rendering of personalized expert services. That's what it means exactly. Okay. Employment, as usual, you're going to a boss and you are getting an appointment letter after completing your graduation or post graduation. You are getting going to get a letter, offer letter, which states that you are Mr. So and so, and you are employed in this company. Okay, so you will have a boss, and you get salary on regular basis, monthly basis. Okay, so on the basis of qualification, if you say business doesn't require any qualification, anyone who don't even have school knowledge and who don't even who is not at all aware there is something called a school can even start a business. Okay, but still it's advisable that you should know something around, like in and around what is happening. You should know that knowledge is more than enough for you. There is nothing called qualification, but in case of profession, qualification, expertise, and training in specific field is as prescribed by the professional bodies must. Yeah, absolutely. If you are doing a CA, okay, you have to be recognized and you have to be certified by ICAI. You can search once you have some free time. You can search it. Those who are doing CA course, those who are going to do CA course, ICAI, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Okay, ICAI. That is the professional body for one who do chartered account course. So they are the one who is going to certify you for your qualification. Okay, and employment also, you have to do a graduation at least, or whatever it is as per the job specification, job requirement. What is there, you have to do it. Okay, and reward or return, profit earned is the return. Here it is a professional fee, as I told you, and in the employment, you get salary on regular basis. Capital investment. What does this capital investment mean? Something which you start, okay, on your own. That is called as capital investment. Nothing else. So you have some 50,000 in your bank balance, and what you do is you are going to invest that in your business. Okay, with that motto only, we are going to start. So I have my 50,000 in a bank in my bank, and I'm going to start a business with that 50,000. That is called as capital investment. Okay, and in case of professional, there is like some limited capital is needed. I told you, no, if I become a CA, I have to set up an office. So to set up an office, I need some capital, right? So that's small amount, not big as it's required to 50,000 dollars. Say for example 20 to 30,000. Okay, and in case of employment, there is no capital requirement. Who asks you some capital requirement? You come and work. I will give you the salary. That's the policy, right? And risk. In case of risk, uh, definitely, what is business has is the highest risk, and professional has somewhat risk, because once if you do not get any clients for a month or for a while, you would not get any professional fee, right? There is some risks in that, risk in it. But in case of salaried employee, that is employment, you don't have any risk. Once you are 31st of the month, for example, once you are working in a company, and on 31st of every month, you will definitely get your pay. Okay, so next is transfer of interest. Transfer of interest means nothing. I couldn't complete that. I couldn't carry on the business, so I'm just giving handing over to my son. Okay, that is possible only in business, man. Because if I study CA, I have to work. I cannot let my son to work, right? If he want to work, he has to do CA. And also in employment, if I work for a company in an employment basis, I cannot just tell the employer to, like, instead of me, my son will work. I cannot tell like that. Okay, code of conduct. Business doesn't have any code of conduct, but profession has some professional code of conduct. Okay, should not violate the laws. I should not commit fraud. Okay, there are some things. And of course, in employment, you have some norms, timings, office timings are there, something, this kind of formalities, codes. Yes, sir. Example: a shop, a factory for a business, legal, medical profession, chartered accountancy. Absolutely, I told you, no. And in case of employment, is banks, job, insurance companies, government departments. So this is difference between business, profession, and employment. Uh, for those who are seeing for an exam point of view, I tell you this is an important difference which you have to revise once you go before the examination hall. Okay, characteristics of business activities. I just telling you that it's the general parlance in business activities. What are those? Now we'll be seeing that what is detailedly what is business. Okay, yeah, this flowchart is enough for me. Business is categorized as two. Okay, one is industry and another one is commerce. What is an industry means? Somewhere if you are going outside the city of Chennai or somewhere outside the Delhi, maybe somewhere inside also, you'll be seeing some tall canal-like structure or pipe-like structure, and there will be some smoke coming out of it. What does it look like? What will be running through your mind when you see it? If you couldn't get it, and I could answer it, that is an industry. Okay, that is an industry. Something is going in it. Something is going in it. So something is processing in that so that it gets out of the vapor and causes pollution, so on. So you might have read in your science, environmental science and all. Okay, that's called as an industry. So industries is classified further as primary and secondary and tertiary. Primary industries are extractive and genetic. Secondary are manufacturing and construction. Tertiary is something which provides services. Yeah, primary industries extractive. Mines. Have you ever heard of the words called mining activity? Yeah, they will just go to a square piece of a land that's in a huge scale. They will dig that to the core, and they will get some metals out of it or some materials which is available there. Gold mines, for example, gold, diamonds, or just made out of the mines. So that is called as mining. Those industries are primary industries, right? Because from that gold only you are going to make the ornaments. Just like that, you cannot make ornaments, right? From that gold only you have to take it and you have to remove the dust and you have to melt it to make the ornaments. So that is extractive industries. Genetic industries are something like made like breeding plants and animals. It's genetically involved. Those industries are called as genetic industries. That is also primary. Okay. Seeds. You might have seen some seeds and nursery companies. They will be packing and selling it. So those companies and all, they are called as genetic industries. And that's about primary industries. What you could see with the primary industries are classified as two types now on the basis of classification. We could summarize that primary industry is something which is a first step industries. Correct. First step industry. As I told you, without gold extracting the gold, that is without taking out the gold from the mine, we cannot make gold ornaments. That's the final product. So that is the first step of production. So that is called as primary industries. Secondary was manufacturing and construction. Manufacturing has some process, analytical, synthetical, processing, assembly. Analytical in the sense the analyzing industries. Say for example, gold. Let us take this pure example is gold. I'm just taking out the gold, and what I do is I completely analyze the gold. I completely analyze the gold and what is the purity of it from the metal and what could be done further to purify the metal. Okay, that's called as analytical industries. And next is the synthetical industries. From the gold which I have extracted from the mines, I have analyzed it and found something, and I have to add some more metal. There is some copper. Say for example, if I add some copper to it, it will be easy to bend it and it will be easy to make some ornaments because the gold is used to make ornaments and biscuits, right? Biscuits doesn't need some copper and all, but for an ornaments it is needed. So that what happens, the copper is mixed, so that is called a synthetical industry. And after that, processing industries like you could after mixing the copper with it, you could mold it and you could bring it into a shape. That is called as processing. And assembling is the final touch for the product. Just everything putting together, everything put together to make a good ornament. So that is called as assembling. So this is kind of manufacturing and construction. Construction industries, L&T is there, IDT imitation is there. So these are some examples of construction which companies which you could come across in your day-to-day life. You might be seeing somewhere like there will be an incomplete bridge. It will be in the under construction. You see a board in there. You will be seeing the industry which is taking over the complete product construction process. So it will be L&T or IDT Cimentation or any other construction company industries. So these are secondary industries. Now you could see secondary industries is something which does activities related to a thing procured from the primary industry, if I'm not wrong. Correct? So that is called as secondary industries. And the tertiary industries, after all providing these so kind of manufacturing and everything, Who will back up those things? So that is where tertiary plays the role. Tertiary industries are something banks, financial institutions, those are called as tertiary industries. These tertiary industries help the both primary and secondary industries. So this is about industry, and with that note, I could move to commerce. Commerce is classified under two. One is trade, and the other one is auxiliaries to trade. So trade is something which is internal and external. Internal trade is nothing within our region, wholesale and retail. Wholesale means as a bulk I purchase, say for example 10,000 units I purchase and keep it in my godown, and someone is my neighbor is uh, having a petty shop. For example, it's a small shop, a grocery store. So he procures materials from me, the goods from me. So he is a retailer. So I am a wholesaler, he is a retailer. That is called as wholesale and retail. External means import, export, and entry port. Import means from other nations. Say for example, you might have heard Rolls Royce. Rolls Royce is mostly imported, correct? From some other country, some country. So that is called as import. That's something from other country. You are bringing it to our country, okay? To our country. That is called import. Export is just opposite to import. Export from my country, I am exporting, I am sending goods to other country outside through whatever mode it is, sea or air. That is called import and export. So with that, auxiliaries to trade is transportation, warehousing, insurance, banking, and finance, advertising. Auxiliaries to trade is nothing. uh, for this trade has to happen, we need certain tools, or we need certain modes, or we need certain help. In simple terms, that is called as auxiliaries to trade. Trade, auxiliaries to trade. So trade is completely depends upon this auxiliaries to trade. This auxiliaries to trade has to function correctly to complete the trade. First is transportation. Of course, to produce something, okay, you have to transport that from your production plant, from production place to the end product consumer, right? So warehousing is after you once you transport, after the completion of transportation, it's on that day itself your products are not going to get sold, right? It will take time sometime. So until that you have to store it somewhere. So that storing place is called as warehouse. You might have heard a word godown, right? That is called as warehouse. Okay, and insurance. Insurance is something which you might have heard for in case of health, right? Vehicle. So you might be just coming across these words. Some insurance. That's kind of compensation for your loss. Okay, compensation for your loss. If you are transporting some 10,000 rupees worth goods, okay, from Kolkata to Delhi, what happened in between? An accident has occurred, and you lost some 8,000 rupees as your 8,000 rupees goods uh, in that accident. So you have applied for an insurance, okay, before. What happens, this insurance company, this 8,000 they will compensate you, because that 8,000 is a loss for you, right? That 8,000, the goods, the insurance company will compensate you. So for that you need insurance also. You have to insure your goods. Banking and finance, absolutely, you need banking and finance to even start your business, and whatever to trade, you need banking and finance. Advertising, as usual, yeah, you have to promote your business, you have to make your business to reach throughout the world, okay? That is called as advertising. So yeah, trade and access, this is what it's in detail. Those who want to study from point of exam, just go ahead with line by line reading. I suggest that, because MCQs will contain every question from NCRT only. none other than that. Anywhere you could not see anything. So with that, objectives of business. What is the objective? Starting business. Logically think it. Market standing. Market standing is something you're not going to stand in the market. That's not like that. See, if you are selling, okay, something, some product, you must sustain in the place, right? If you are selling it within your country, India, you have to sustain yourself within India, correct? So that is called as market standing. Wherever, in case, for example, I consider myself as example. I am Harish. I am going to sell laptops, okay, through online. So what I have to do, I have to promote my product as accessories to trade describes. Whatever it is there that I have to do. But like once I sell some 20,000 laptop, I should not quit. Correct. I should stand. Whoever I should become like someone if ask you which laptop could buy, you could recommend my product. So that's the thing. That's the reach I should have, and also I should sustain in the market. That is called as market stand. I should not go out of the market. I should not close my business. Okay, that's the first primary objective of business. Okay, business is started to run, not to close. Okay, that is called as market standing. Second is innovation, new ideas. Yeah, business helps encourages us to become innovative and new ideas will be there. Productivity is something called as value of output with the value of inputs. Okay, comparing the value of output with value of inputs. What has happened? See, if you are example, if you could able to take 10 percentage profit from your input, then that is your productivity. Okay, and physical and financial resources. You should have physical and financial resources. Physical resources like machines, plants, offices, like so and so. What is physically required there? And in financial resources, you should have some funds, okay, to produce supply goods and services. And earning profit. Earning profit. One of the objective of business is to earn profits on the capital employed. Yeah. Uh, for the main motive of the business is to first you have to stand in the market. Also, for standing in the market, you will require profits, right? Once you earn profit only, you will be able to confidently say that I am standing in the market, correct? So this is about the objectives, and be thorough with it. It could be a 5 marker. Okay, 5 marker. And the main topic comes here is the business risk. Is the possibility of inadequate profits or even losses. Okay, a good definition given in the exam book itself. Possibility of inadequate profits. What I told you, there are something called as inadequate and adequate profits, right? Inadequate profit means when your expense is more, okay, but you have got some income, but it's not reasonable actually. It is not adequate. It is inadequate. So that is called as inadequate profits. Okay. Say for example, I am expending around doing some expenditures around 45 lakhs. Okay, my income was only 5 lakhs. Will that be a reasonable one? Will that be an adequate one? No, right? That is what we call it as inadequate profits. Okay, inadequate profit. So that's the possibility of inadequate profit in case of business. Yeah, absolutely. You cannot take what you have put on the business immediately. It takes time. It has to be a progress. It's a progressive one. Okay. But for a sustained business, it is not a progressive one. It is a regressive one. It shows that your product is losing your value and you are also losing the market value. Okay. This is called as business risk. This is called as business risk. So, what are the nature of business risk? Like risk is an essential part of every business. Yeah, absolutely. Without risk, you cannot run a business. There is no business without risk. Business risk arises due to uncertainty. Yeah, uncertainty is something which you don't know what is going to happen in the future. Right? That is called as uncertainty. You are not some god or you are not some time traveler to go and see what is going to happen in the future. Right? You just run the business with the predictions. That's all. It may go wrong, it may go well. It's not uncertainty. That is called as uncertainty. Sorry. Business risk arises due to uncertainties. Degree of risk depends upon only the nature and size of business. Yeah, absolutely. When you go ahead with a large scale, you'll have a large risk. When you go ahead with a small scale, you'll have a small risk. Okay. And also the nature of goods sold, volume of production and sales, whatever it is. With that, that's the nature of business. And what is the causes? Oh, sorry, one more point I have left it. Profit is the reward for risk taking. Yeah, absolutely. No risk, no gain. Okay. No pain, no gain was the quote, but now it is no risk, no gain. Yeah, absolutely. If you take some risk, you'll definitely have the fruit. Okay, the fruit will be very sweeter than you think. Okay, it will be the sweetest fruit you could taste. So that is the profit for the risk you are taking. Okay, that's the reward actually. What causes the business risk? What are the causes? Natural causes. We cannot have a little. We cannot have a full control over the few natural resources, natural calamities. Sorry, not resources. Like in case of flood, in case of earthquake, in case of tsunamis, you cannot protect your goods. You cannot protect your business. Okay, of course, you could just reduce the loss, but not that it will be the same as before the calamity. Okay, that is called as natural causes. Best example is COVID. Okay, where the business surveyed, many business become bankrupt and many were closed because they were unable to survive because it is beyond the new human cause, right? And human causes like unexpected events, dishonesty, carelessness, negligence, some like failures and dishonesty, like betrayals. Many business has went down because of that. Okay, small businesses without it is not very famous, but some small businesses will have become would have closed because of family problems, so on. So that those are human causes. Economic causes like there is no demand for goods, competition, price, collection of dues from customers, collection change. So these are some uncertainties which causes economical damage to the company. Other causes like political disturbances. Yeah, of course, you should be aware of your political environment. Okay, and mechanical failures, these things and all should be very aware of. And so they are the types of the causes for a business risk. So I'm going to start a business. What are the basic factors to be considered? First, you have to select what type of business you are going to do. Right. So first thing is that you have to take the type and the size of business. At what scale you are going to produce your goods, or what scale you are going to produce your services. You are going to provide your services. So that you have to decide. Next is location of business enterprise, where you are going to keep run your business. That is very biggest and the most important factor is the location. Now many people fail in their business because of the location factor. They do not get a perfect location or setting up a business. For a tea shop, you should have a good cornered place in the main road where people could see your shop easily, and it should be very identifiable, and it should be very near to the residential area. Okay, that is the strategy for a tea shop. Like that, you have to, for the type of business which you start, you should know what is the correct location I should keep. Okay. Financing the proportion is nothing like what amount I require. Okay, what amount I require, what amount I have. what amount I have to borrow from someone. Someone is that nothing, bank or financial institutions, whoever they are, someone who provides help for business financially. They are those. So that is called as financial financing the proportion. What is there required? You have to put physical facilities, the equipments, plant machineries, what is required, those things and all you have to consider it. Competent and committed workforce. Competent and committed workforce means you should have people who are dedicated in their work and they are very productive in their work. So those workforce you have to do. Tax planning. Tax planning it should compile under later on I'll just tell you. Now it's not required. On overview I tell you reduction of tax. For that you have to just see that you have to launching the enterprise. After all these decisions, you have to launch the enterprise with the perfect uh, fulfilling for perfect resources. After all these legal formalities, okay. After that, you have to launch the enterprise. So this is all about your first chapter. So once again, just go through a read, go do a read on the NCRT lines actually, those English because NCRT book is very important in a point of your exam. Okay, in point of your exam, you have to just be with your NCRT alone. Just do not even go ahead with any other book. Okay, this is my advice. If you want, you can just go ahead with other book and trusted books over there. Okay, just acts which is getting updated for every year with the syllabus. Just go ahead with that book. Okay, so as little 11th does not require any more reference books. I believe that in case of accounts, for further, if you want to get deeper knowledge in accounts, you could buy, I could recommend T.S. Gravel. Okay, they contains some around 2 volumes. That books you can buy and use it as a reference. Okay, that's also you should not just use for exam point of view. Just using that and just solving sums only for the exam. That's not correct. That you should use in order to remember forever. Okay, once you do put a sum, it's not that you should remember all the figures there, all the numbers there. You should remember whatever the concepts you are learning from that. Okay, whatever the adjustments you are doing. Okay, that's the important thing. With that note, I'm ending the class and thank you for watching this video and please do subscribe and stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.